Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of West Meets East Indonesia. I'm Aaron with West Meets East, and today I'm going to talk about why I left America. Why did I leave the United States? A lot of people ask me that question. A lot of people here ask me that question, and a lot of people back home ask me, why'd you leave? Well, for the most part, I did tell my friends, my close friends and family why I left, but my coworkers, I didn't explain everything why I left. I kind of left it as I'm moving to Indonesia to be closer to my wife. My wife, Tini, is from Indonesia, and we met 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago actually. We got married 2 years ago, so we met about two years and maybe 4 months ago we met. And while things moved rather quickly, we got married on my first visit when I came to see her, because I knew that I wanted to marry her, and she knew that she wanted to marry me, and we got married. Now, we didn't get married legally yet, because for that to happen, I needed the proper visa, and it takes about a month or so for the paperwork and everything to pan out. So we got married through religion, through our faith, which is Islam. We got married through Islam. I converted as from Christian to Muslim. Actually, I converted when I came here my first time, but my thoughts of converting were before I even met my wife. So, and that's something that that's a subject that I'm gonna save for another video on why I converted to Islam. But we got married, and the thing is I moved from the States to Indonesia because, well, for one, I wanted to try something new. I was living in New York City, okay? I was born and raised in Miami, and living in New York City, kind of bouncing back and forth, but stayed in New York City for some time, and it just, life was a hustle. I mean, not that it isn't a hustle now, because I'm probably hustling even more now than I was in New York, but it's just the grind. Everything was so fast paced, and it was kind of hectic. A lot of bad influence always around me. So, and I was working in restaurants back in New York, and while I was making great money and everything, but it just wasn't the life that I wanted to lead. And I first thought to myself, I'm gonna bring my wife Tina here to New York. That's what I thought. And I tried to get her here on a visa for just a vacation, and she was denied. She was denied a tourist visa, which I thought was odd, but at the same time I took it as a sign. So, you know, everything happens for its reason, and in my belief, our life has already been written out, so we accepted that. And I made the move because I felt in my heart it was the right thing to do. I have family in the States, but I don't live close to them. My brother lives in Florida. My mother lives in Wisconsin with cousins and aunts of mine. So my family's kind of spread out, and I don't have much family at all. I have some small family, a little, like some distant family in New York, but I don't even talk to them. And while all my friends are in New York and Miami, I thought it would be a good idea to move here so that I wouldn't be taking my wife Tini away from her family, which she's close to her family and she has a bigger family, and she worked really hard before we met. She worked really hard to buy the house that we are both living in right now. Albeit I pay the mortgage for the house, but she worked hard to get it, okay? And I didn't want her to leave all of that behind, all of that hard work and sacrifice. So instead I sacrificed, I guess, myself, and I moved here last year. It was April 12th of last year I made the permanent move. I had traveled back and forth from New York to Indonesia several times prior to that, visiting and kind of making arrangements and everything. But I moved here, so I wanted to try something new, and I moved here because my wife. I wanted to be closer to my wife, okay? Another reason I left the States is there's too much hate. There's too much hate in the United States. Unfortunately, because of this guy, he's divided the country, okay? And you can see the separation, and it's just caused so much anger amongst ourselves, and it shows. Americans are turning on Americans. People are getting shot. If you walk down the street, you know, especially myself, a white male, walking down the streets in Harlem where I used to live, people would yell obscenities at me, and, you know, not knowing who I am and not knowing what I believe in or anything like that. I just got hate. And being Muslim in New York City as a white male, that's another thing. I would get hate. Going into a mosque to do my prayer on Fridays, I would get dirty looks, and it just didn't feel right. There's just so much anger in the States, and I wanted to get away from that. And because I had gone back and forth to Indonesia, I noticed that there's hate everywhere you go, okay? But here it's different. It's the people are not angry, you know. They're happy. They're a happy group of people. The Indonesians are very happy people, and even though they live hard lives, and they're not making money like how people in the United States are making, and most of the population is struggling, but they're happy, and I like that. So there's too much hate in the United States. That's another reason I left, and because this guy. I wanted a fresh start, right? I wanted a fresh start, wanted to get away from everything, and I wanted to try something new. So in my spare time, which maybe not in my spare time, but I spend a lot of time working on my websites, and I do internet marketing, affiliate marketing, and I learned all of this stuff from ground up. I didn't know any of it a couple years ago, and I started this while I was in New York, and I got to a point where I'm not extremely successful with it. Not yet. I'm on my way. But I've gotten to a point where it's something that I can do living anywhere in the world. Doesn't matter where I'm at. But in the beginning, obviously, I needed something to get me going. So what I did was I came here as a volunteer. I got involved with World Cleanup Day and Jakarta Cleanup Day, and I became one of the international core team members, and I helped volunteer here to spread awareness about environmental issues and the problem we have with plastic and plastics in the ocean. So I actually had the opportunity to go around and give speeches, and I was able to give speeches about environmental awareness. Now, another thing I wanted to experience was the life here and the culture. Because I've been here before, several times before permanently moving here, I really like the culture here. I like the culture. I like how the Indonesian people live their lives. So I'm still involved with the volunteering, with the World Cleanup Day and Jakarta Cleanup Day, and whenever there's an event that I can attend, I try to make it, and I try to be a part of that to help the cause, because I do care about our environment, and that is one of the new passions I have, is spreading the awareness. Now, here's where things get a little interesting. While I was on a road trip or a road show in Semarang, I received a phone call, and the phone call was offering me a teaching job here to teach English because I am a native speaker. Somebody was looking for a native speaker. It was an agency that was looking for a native speaker to teach English to lower secondary and higher secondary, which in the United States that would be junior high and high school. Okay, so 7th grade up to 12th grade. And naturally, I said yes, I'd love to. So I went through the whole process. I went through the interview. I was hired. They chose me out of, I think it was 3 other native speakers, Canada, New Zealand, and I think England, there were a few other people who applied, and they chose me, so I'm honored for that. And I still today teach English for an international school here. And I'm actually, I was asked to continue my teaching for next year. So this leads me to why I'm choosing to stay here, right? Well, one is I'm working on my internet marketing, and I can do that here, and it's something where I can do it from anywhere in the world as long as I have an internet connection and make a living. Secondly, I'm teaching English here, and I like it, so it gives me the not just the ability but opportunity to do the things that I want to do and experience the life and the culture here, and be with my wife, of course. But it also gives me a bit of financial backing while I'm here. Because if I wanted to, I could stay here, and I could stay here on a spousal visa or a marriage visa. But when you're here on a marriage visa, you're not allowed to work, at least for 2 years. So instead of doing that, I'm teaching, and I'm on a work visa. So that keeps me in the country. It keeps some financial money backing in my pocket while I'm doing my internet marketing and making additional funds. And it keeps me with my wife, which is what I want. So I think that kind of sums up why I left America and why I'm here and planning on staying here, and why I want to stay here and want to be here. I wanted to try something new. I wanted to be with my wife. There's too much hate in the United States because of a particular person and his agenda. I wanted a fresh start. I wanted to experience life and culture here. And I'm involved with the volunteer work, which is for a great cause. So I hope that answers anybody's questions. and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions or comments, please go ahead and leave them down below. If you like the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Also, if you're interested in internet marketing, or you want to get involved with internet marketing or affiliate marketing, I'm going to leave a link down below to my website where you can learn more about that. Okay? So thanks again, guys. My name's Aaron with West Meets East Indonesia, and you have a great day, guys. Thank you.